strongholds are hard to take down. I mean, look at this. That's the whole point of a stronghold. It's hard to get to, it's hard to take it down, and yet Paul says we have divine power to tear these things down in our lives. Jesus came to set us free. He came that we would live in the abundance of life that he is offering us. But the reason that they're hard to break down, I think there's 4 different reasons if you're taking notes. Number 1, the reason they're hard to bring down is because they're familiar and comfortable. They're familiar and they're comfortable. Strongholds provide a false sense of comfort and safety and peace. They're the old ways of life that we've become familiar with. And if we're honest, sometimes it's harder to face the pain of changing than it is to stay stuck in our own strongholds. Old habits die hard. Learning new ways to process your pain and trauma can be scary. And many of us, I believe, have become so comfortable in the slavery of our strongholds that it feels uncomfortable and terrifying to follow God into the wilderness. And so how do we break free? Number 1, you have to embrace discomfort. If you want to find freedom from your strongholds, you have to embrace discomfort and let go of the familiar, and you have to do it one day at a time. If we're honest, friends, most of us don't want to change. We want to eliminate pain and discomfort in our lives, and change means discomfort. One of our pastors here, Troy Kennedy, he said something great as we were talking this over this past week. He said, we want God to optimize our lives. We don't want God to do surgery on our lives. It's so true. And yet, either the pain of staying stuck where you are, the pain of living in that stronghold, which will never satisfy, which will never give you what you're ultimately looking for, either the pain of your life in the midst of the strongholds becomes so unbearable that you're like, fine, I choose the pain of change over the pain of staying here. Or your stronghold ends up leading you to a rock bottom moment where you are forced to change. Friends, you have to remember God isn't holding out on you. He wants the best for you. But God's best for you, the promised land, is always on the other side of the wilderness. It's always on the other side of the wilderness. And tearing down strongholds often leads to more pain before it leads to peace. Often there's a season of pain that we must endure before we experience peace. Now, number 1, we break free by embracing the discomfort of letting those things go. But number 2, you have to realize that it's one day at a time. And so when you're dealing with strongholds in your life, you have to realize they are not built in a day and they are not torn down in a day, but they are healed one day at a time as we surrender our will to God's will. One day at a time. Sometimes you look at the things of your life and the things that you've run to for a very long time, and you might think to yourself, I can never live without this. I can't imagine going the rest of my life without this. And God would just want you to know, he would respond to you in that moment and say, hey, don't worry about the rest of your life. Just go one day. Just go, let's just do today. Let's make it through one day today. So strongholds are familiar, they're comfortable, but they're also something that reinforce false identities in our lives. The reason they're hard to take down is because they reinforce false identities in our lives. It's like these operating systems in our soul that we become really familiar with.